the union representing Canadian diplomats has recently spoken up about the need for increased compensation for those posted in the United States. Why? Well, it's all because of the rising risks of gun crime and challenges in accessing healthcare. But wait, there's more. Pamela Isfeld, the head of the Professional Association of Foreign Service Officers, has some interesting insights on the alleged shortcomings in security assessments for U.S. postings. She's here to set the record straight and help us understand that diplomats are not just seeking exotic locations, but they're also playing a crucial role in maintaining the Canada-U.S. relationship. However, despite the vital role that Canadian diplomats play in the U.S., they often lack the support and compensation that reflects the risks and inconveniences they face. Safety concerns, including underfunded police departments and increasing crime, raise valid worries among diplomats. This is where it gets really concerning. Stories are emerging about the real challenges that diplomats face, like witnessing multiple shootings and struggling to secure a transfer. The safety of diplomats and their families is so important, and it's frustrating to hear that their hardship levels or enhanced security budgets are not being taken into consideration. And if that's not enough, there are also issues with the new health insurance provider, creating even more challenges for diplomats and their families. It's tough enough to navigate a foreign country without having to worry about access to healthcare, especially in a place like the US with virtually no public healthcare. The unique nature of US postings involving engagement with civil society and business leaders presents a distinctive diplomatic experience. In a recent CNN interview, the Saudi Foreign Minister, Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, emphasized the need for a resolution to the Palestinian issue before normalizing ties with Israel. He explained that stability can only be achieved by addressing the Palestinian problem, saying, "That's the only way we're going to get the benefit." The minister also expressed concern about the conflict in Gaza and condemned Israel's actions, calling them completely unnecessary, completely unacceptable, and has to stop. He stressed Saudi Arabia's focus on de-escalating the conflict and protecting civilians. The Saudi foreign minister's statements add a significant layer to the complex dynamics in the Middle East. If Saudi Arabia and Israel were to normalize ties, it could potentially reshape the geopolitics of the region. It's a diplomatic move that holds immense strategic importance. After the October conflict between Israel and Hamas, plans for normalizing ties were put on hold, reflecting the kingdom's reevaluation of its diplomatic strategy. The geopolitical chessboard in the Middle East is constantly changing, and the aspirations for a Saudi-Israel normalization deal are captivating. We can't wait to see how the story unfolds. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi made a bold statement at a press conference held in Cairo. He reaffirmed Egypt's unwavering commitment to Somalia, saying, "We will not allow any threat to Somalia or infringement upon its territory." This has caused tensions to escalate in the Horn of Africa, and the stakes are high. President el-Sisi emphasized the importance of collective defense for Somalia and categorically rejected Ethiopia's deal with Somaliland, seeing it as an attempt to control another territory. Egypt is making strategic moves to safeguard regional stability, and we're seeing some interesting political maneuvers. But what's really fascinating is how Egypt values cooperation and development over territorial disputes. President el-Sisi is urging dialogue to prevent threats to regional security, and there are significant opportunities for global trade in the Red Sea. It's a complex situation, but one that we're keeping an eye on. There's some good news too. President el-Sisi acknowledged Somalia's achievements, including debt relief and lifting supply bans, which is a positive sign. Somalia considers Egypt a strategic ally, and we're hopeful for fruitful cooperation moving forward. Tragically, the Palestinian death toll in Gaza has surpassed 25,000, marking an unprecedented and devastating milestone. The health ministry in Gaza reports that the casualties include over 62,000 wounded, with the toll rising due to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. In a distressing turn of events, Israel announced the death of another hostage, 19-year-old Sankt Shai Levinson, adding to the complexities of the situation. With over 100 hostages still in jeopardy, the prospects of achieving a resolution seem distant, leading to a humanitarian crisis that demands urgent attention. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in his conversation with U.S. President Joe Biden, rejects Hamas' demands for a ceasefire, withdrawal, and release of Palestinians, fearing potential devastating attacks in the future. The refusal to consider a two-state solution adds another layer of tension to an already volatile region. As the conflict unfolds, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres emphasizes the urgent need for a humanitarian ceasefire to alleviate the suffering in Gaza. The Middle East becomes a tinderbox, with the potential for a broader regional conflict involving Iran-backed groups supporting the Palestinians. In the midst of this, clashes between Hezbollah forces and Israeli troops intensify along the Lebanese border, further complicating the geopolitical landscape. An Israeli airstrike hits a car in Lebanon, causing casualties and escalating tensions. The war's impact is staggering, with widespread displacement, destruction, and a quarter of Gaza's population facing starvation. The dire situation calls for global attention and action. A grim milestone has been reached, with the Palestinian death toll in Gaza surpassing 25,000. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres expresses deep concern, denouncing the killings as heartbreaking and utterly unacceptable. Guterres, speaking at the G77 plus China summit, emphasizes the unprecedented scale of destruction caused by Israel's military operations. He urgently renews calls for a humanitarian ceasefire to alleviate suffering, ensure aid reaches those in need, and facilitate the immediate and unconditional release of hostages. As per Gaza's health ministry, casualties extend beyond 25,000, with over 60,000 wounded since the October 7th surprise attack by Hamas. The situation is dire, with civilians bearing the brunt of the conflict. Guterres doesn't mince words about the two-state solution, calling its denial totally unacceptable. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's rejection adds tension to an already volatile region, raising concerns about the prolonged conflict's threat to global peace and security. The EU, joining the call for resolution, pressures Israel to find a way to end the conflict. The European Parliament urges a permanent ceasefire, conditional on the release of hostages and Gaza's full demilitarization. EU's top diplomat, Josep Borrell, emphasizes the necessity of two states for a lasting solution. A new footage posted by Ukraine's 110th Separate Mechanized Brigade, which captures the intensity of the conflict in Avdiivka. The scenes show the tough reality faced by both Ukrainian and Russian troops. In this heart-wrenching video from late October 2023, you can see Russian forces making slow advances in Avdiivka. Drones capture the engagements, revealing a column of Russian vehicles. The detonation of a landmine adds chaos, leading to a fierce exchange between Ukrainian and Russian forces. Unfortunately, both Ukrainian and Russian troops have suffered significant losses. Russia's offensive around Avdiivka has been ongoing for over 3 months, and has seen thousands of deaths. Western optimism about Avdiivka's defense has waned, with Moscow steadily gaining ground despite heavy losses. The Institute for the Study of War notes that Russia's switch to infantry-led attacks is aimed at preserving their armored vehicles. Recent clashes involve Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade around Avdiivka. The situation remains dire, with daily assaults being reported. Capturing Avdiivka is of strategic importance for Moscow as it impacts logistical operations and potentially influences the broader conflict. The intensity of fighting extends beyond Avdiivka, with clashes reported around Bakhmut and up to the city of Kupiansk. India is about to witness a momentous occasion as Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates a grand Hindu temple in Ayodhya. This temple, which honors Lord Ram, stands on a site that has been a symbol of religious tensions, making it a focal point in the world's largest democracy. The Ram Mandir is a $217 million project that emerges from the remnants of the Babri Masjid, a mosque destroyed in 1992, triggering riots and leaving scars on communal harmony. The controversial Supreme Court decision in 2019 allowed the temple's construction, intensifying the long-standing debate. As the temple's inauguration unfolds amidst ongoing construction, it reflects more than religious significance. Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, eyes a record third consecutive term, aligning with their decades-long advocacy for the temple. The event could sway voter sentiment in the upcoming elections this spring. The consecration ceremony is attended by tens of thousands, including political figures, business leaders, and celebrities, and becomes a spectacle broadcasted live across India and globally. Ayodhya transforms into a vibrant tourist hub akin to a Hindu version of the Vatican. While the event captivates the nation, dissenting voices argue against its premature consecration. Some label it an electoral stunt, accusing Modi of leveraging religion for political gains. The controversy highlights the delicate balance between faith, politics, and India's secular democratic values. As Ayodhya reshapes itself around this colossal temple, accommodating thousands daily, the city becomes a symbol of cultural renaissance. The roads widen, and the pink sandstone structure stands tall, welcoming pilgrims on the 8-mile ram path. The UK Ministry of Defense has reported that Russia is taking advantage of the freezing winter conditions in Ukraine to increase its offensive maneuvers. The frozen ground provides a tactical advantage, allowing for the movement of armored vehicles across the country. However, these aggressive moves are not without consequences. Data from the Ukrainian General Staff shows that Russia is suffering significant losses. From January 14 to January 18, military vehicle losses increased by 88%, and tank losses soared by 95%. Russian casualties also increased by 15%. In Avdiivka, Russian forces continue to launch large-scale infantry assaults, but Ukrainian defenders are putting up a good fight. Ukrainian commander Terran describes the ongoing struggle, giving us a vivid picture of the situation. Russia's offensive coincides with Ukraine's freezing winter, which could mean that they're trying to take advantage of the hard, frozen grounds before the impending thaw. However, the mud season, known as Rasputitsa, poses challenges, but Russia's frontal assaults continue. As we watch this unfolding chapter, it's becoming clear that Ukraine's US-provided Abrams tanks are essential. These tanks are designed for harsh environments and could play a pivotal role during the challenging mud season, giving Ukraine a strategic advantage. If you need personalized guidance, please consult licensed professionals. Thanks for tuning in to GeoRumor, your go-to source for world affairs insights. Stay informed, stay engaged, and until next time, this is your friend Tochukwu Okonkwo signing off. Keep shining in the crypto space.